Social Health Authority CEO Mercy Mwangangi and outgoing Director of Finance Robert Igasira today appeared before the National Assembly's Public Finance Committee on Social Services. The two officials updated committee members on the current status and implementation process and progress of the Social Health Insurance Scheme.
Virtual participation policy that qualifies anybody. If just left not signed, then that's an issue. But we believe in you, and we believe in the CS, and we know if we look at the past to do the current, then SHA is in good shape. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Mheshimiwa Nabwini, closing remarks.
Chair, I concur on the adjournment.
Mheshimiwa Caleb.
Yes, Chair. I concur, and I know Mercy, the CEO, personally, and I am sure that she will streamline the institution. Thank you.
When you say personally, what do you mean?
Personally, I mean, Chair, I mean...
Don't elaborate. It's okay, it's understood. It's understood by all standards. You say you're the MP for Machakos, so we know. Yeah, it's understood. I want to hear a comment from the representative of Inspector of State Corporations.
Thank you, Chairman. I think we are well guided, and I'm sure that management of SHA are now more aware on what is needed for the committee. I think then what will be needed is the timeline as to when that will be availed. And maybe even with regard to the remaining documentation, if they have not followed that format, they can take this opportunity to improve. Thank you, Chairman.
I want to hear from Director of Audit.
Thanks, Chair. We will be available to support, and I think even for us it was not easy reviewing and going through the documents. And sometimes it becomes easier once you receive the submissions, you hold a meeting. It's actually allowed you go through the submissions for clarifications and all that. Most of our conclusions was based on what was provided, some of which was not sufficient. And we indicated in the brief to you, Chair, that this was not provided, this was not sufficient. So once they do the other submission, then we can find time and discuss. It makes it easier also for the clarifications to the committee. Thank you.
That's a good offer, CEO, to yourself from OAG.
Yes.
That once you've made the compilations, please invite the sector auditors. It would be very easy. By the time you come, all the issues have been aligned, and we can move forward in a smooth way. From my side is, outside there, people are talking about SHA. And when you get an opportunity like this one, you can tell us there is a lot of positivities in SHA, and indeed it's working, but you are not working to the expectation. This remaining 5–10%, especially in terms of surgery, people are complaining of 1 year surgery. When you have a surgery, year one, you have to go another 1 year for you to come back to SHA. But you don't decide the illness. Illness comes and strikes you today. You are treated. After a month, it comes back. What are you doing about it? This issue of 1 year. The issue, or another issue outside there people are talking about is the 1 year contribution. That you have to contribute a whole year. Maybe as the practicing the CEO, what can you tell the country about that?
Thank you, Chair. Let me start with the annual contribution question you've raised. A lot of studies have been conducted here within our country, looking at life performance over the years. And Chair, one of those issues was actually highlighted today when we were looking at the informal sector retention rate of 14%. What we've determined as we've been designing this program and implementing it is that SHA will require us to be able to find a way of how we make the informal sector contributions predictable as those that happen in the formal sector. And making them predictable, Chair, then requires us to be able to find mechanisms of how we can determine the income level of the informal sector and how thereafter we can determine the premiums payable, and how then after we can determine how that premium is able to fit the current actuarial model. When we look at the trends over the last 50 years in NHIF, the informal sector retention has stagnated around 14, 22, 25%, and we'll be able to provide this information later. To be able to improve on this retention, Chair, and it is itemized in the law, it is required that then contributions are made in an annual format, and recognizing that the informal sector do have unpredictable incomes, we then put in place mechanisms known as insurance premium financing to facilitate the informal sector member to be able to pay their premiums. We currently have one product available, and we have opened up for more products to be available. That is called SHA Lipa Pole Pole. And what happens is when a Kenyan dials *147 and they go to item number 3 in that prompt, you'll then be able to go through your means testing and you'll get a premium, and you'll be required to pay 4 months of that premium. The balance thereafter is then paid out either daily, weekly, or monthly according to the ability of that Kenyan. This premium financing facility is not a loan, Chair. It doesn't gather any interest and has allowed us to actually have about 800,000 Kenyans to date access the facility. Chair, I don't have the final numbers with me, and I know I'm on Hansard, but I will tell you the last time I checked our collections, we have almost $500 million contributed through this mechanism. And if we compare this to the trends of the last 50 years, with increased awareness where we know we need to do more to communicate to Kenyans, we will then be able to have better retention rates. With regards to surgery, again, Chair, that is in the law, in the SHA regulations.